Hello everybody, this is Trainz Robin here, and welcome back to Trainz. Or should I say a very weird kind of Trainz. So of course we're on mobile, as you can see, and we're playing what looks to be Trainz 2, but at the same time is not Trainz 2. This is called Trainz Driver Journey. Specifically, the second edition, which features the Iberia Interior route, which is what we're going to be grabbing today. Well, obviously, because it's the only route in this entire game, yeah, so some of you guys, you may have never heard of Trainz Driver Journey or Trainz Driver Journey. So what actually is Trainz Driver Journey? Well, to be honest, I'm actually not really sure. Because, so essentially, for Trainz Driver Journey, there's like 8 different apps you can buy, and each app features a route. And well, you know what? If you're curious to know more about Trainz Driver Journey, I might explain it for the details sometime. And yes, this is the theme song for Trainz Driver Journey. That goes for all the Trainz Driver Journey games. So yeah, so you may be wondering what is actually the story behind Trainz Driver Journey. Like I said, I actually don't know, but it exists, and it came out back in 2015, I think, and they had like 8 different versions. For each had its own. I know I'm just repeating myself at this point. But yeah, if you guys want to look more into Trainz Driver Journey, then do that yourselves. Or if you guys want an explanation, then I could explain it. I know I probably should have prepared an explanation before this video started, but I decided, I couldn't be bothered. But it's basically Trainz 2, okay? It's basically Trainz 2, but split into multiple different games, and each game has its own route. So I decided to wrap up the month of October. Let's check out the Iberia Interior route. So this is a route that I had played on back in Trainz Simulator 2, but before that happened, I actually got the Trainz Driver Journey version because it was the only version that actually existed. Like, that was the only way I could get this route on mobile until this came out, the DLC for Trainz 2. So that's what we're gonna be playing today. Now. So there are different scenarios. You have the free drive, then you have the Ave Express. You drive the cool Ave train, you can see the background. There's a Freightliner services, a kind of complete part 2. But we're going to be doing the passenger service today, which has a locomotive that you actually might remember from way back in the day. Yeah, remember? Okay, so remember way back in 2016? This was before I even stream recorded my videos, when I did that rail fanning series at Bangville. You may remember that locomotive. Well, today is the day that we drive it. So let's now go into the info. I'll drive a local passenger service calling at all destinations. So actually not really that much description. Anyways, I think that is enough faffing about. I've already spent the first 3.5 minutes of this video just talking. So let's actually play the game. Alright. Days got more drivers in the App Store. There you go. So I should, I'm not, it's just, I don't know. Here we are. Hello, drive to the station, pick up your car, start your schedule. Here it is. This train. Why is the horn so stupid? Wait, what? Okay, the audio's a bit weird. But yeah, here's our train, or our engine. And we're actually at the end of the route. Oh, you can see the portal. Really? Okay, we're actually at the, yeah, we're actually at the bottom end of the route. That's interesting. Anyway, so this game basically is the train driver thing, or actually, it was actually in this game that this whole driving scheme was actually invented, and for some reason there's no audio on my train. The audio's being strange. Okay, there's something up with the audio. Hang on, give me a minute. There we go. Okay, so I decided to just restart the game, and now all the audio seems to be working. So there you go. So here's the speedy train. Yes. But I decided to drive this thing for today because don't worry, I do plan on driving the Iberia sometime. I know I'm saving. I'm not saying Iberia and Ave. It's the same to me. All right. But yeah, I decided to do this. So this is the train with the worst brakes in the world, so we're gonna have to be very careful. Anyway, there's a train. the triple three. Alright, come on, we can go faster than this. Come on. Yeah. So there you go. Well, yeah. Welcome to Trainz Driver 2, and also, I guess this app hasn't been updated, in a while because this is one of those apps where you have like the black border because I guess the screen resolution doesn't quite fit, so you can actually extra details, like you can see the date and the time. And you also may have noticed that my iPad is running on 22% battery. That is because, for some unknown reason, my iPad didn't charge up last night. So, so if my battery gets too low, I may have to put my iPad on the charger. Because right now, I'm actually so right now I'm actually doing this video in the traditional way where I have my headphones plugged into my thing, but that's plugged into the charge port. So what I may have to do is if my iPad gets too far, well, it's draining the battery really fast. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I should have charged up my iPad before I record this video. After realizing that, oh wait, my iPad doesn't charge up. I don't know why. I thought I plugged it in, but I guess it turns out I didn't plug in the charging end into the wall outlet, so my iPad didn't charge up at all last night. So, here we go. Yep, this thing is the worst brakes in the history of the world. There we go. Alright, we got some points. Yay. Yeah, so Trainz Driver 2, it's basically Train Simulator 2. I know, this is, I say Trainz Driver 2, I should say this is not Trainz Driver 2 as you might be familiar with. It's not that. This is something different. This is basically this is Trainz Simulator 2, but it's split up into multiple different thingies. You're cleared after the Ave train has arrived. Okay. Well, there's a lot of traffic here. Okay, so we have a schedule. Do I have to drive the entire route? Also got all 4 destinations. The question is, how long is that going to take? Is this going to be... Are we going to drive the entire route, or are we going to just drive half of it or something? Alright, yeah, so I do apologize in advance. Midway through the video, I may have to put my iPad... Oh, hello! I didn't realize this was even near. Hello, it's a little shunty thingy. Yeah, it's a little baby shunter. And you're cleared to go. Beware of red signals due to the Ave. Oh, whoops. Okay, so we're gonna be chasing yellows, but I don't think we're gonna be going fast enough for that to actually matter. As we're at a oh, okay. Anyway, yeah. So midway through the video, I may have to disconnect my headphones from the iPad and then plug in my plug it into the charger, which does mean that you will hear some background noise. You will hear the game going from the microphone a bit. Yeah. I actually thought my iPad would, but no way. I noticed my iPad was down at 20% when I started this whole thing. It's already down to 20%. Oh boy. Okay, cool. So now it's, can we complete the scenario before my iPad gets low? Oh, wait and see. And welcome to the Iberia Interior route. And funnily enough, I might, yeah, I probably will do a video on this route in Trainz 2, because the funny thing is that when this whole Trainz Driver Journey thing came out, this was before that the Iberia Interior was even on the Steam store. So what I noticed is that they had a lot of routes and stuff that were already in Trainz 2. So you had the British Midlands, you had alright, I'm gonna look it up. Because I have absolutely no idea. Really, what I should have done was do this and look at this information beforehand. Okay. So what they've done is there's a bunch of Trainz drivers. So there's actually 8 different games. You have, yeah, Trainz Driver 1 through 8, and they have like a pack. It's called Trainz Driver Journey. Also, are we ever gonna go above 20 kilometers per hour? One quite slow. Oh, here we go. Okay, finally the speed limit is about to increase. There we go, all up to 90. Okay, yeah, so there's 1 through 8. And I can't... Okay, so there's Trainz Driver Journey 1, which is actually just the tutorials. Okay, so there's Trainz Driver... So there's 8 different Trainz Driver Journey games. You have Trainz Driver Journey 1, which is actually just the tutorial... Which is actually the first 10 tutorials from Train Simulator 2. Then you have Trainz Driver Journey 2, which is the Iberia Interior route. That's the one that we're playing right now. And there's Trainz Driver Journey 3, which is the Waterville to Caribbean. Trainz Driver Journey 4, which is Introduction to Steam, so the Intro to Steam route. Then Trainz Driver Journey 5, which is Tidewater Point Rail. Driver Journey 6, Highland Valley Industries. Then there's number 7, which is World Fair. And then there's Trainz Driver Journey 8, which is with the Winter in the Alps route. Yes. So basically, so some of these routes are default routes in Trainz 2. So I don't know why you would get the Trainz Driver Journey as it would, but then there are a couple other routes that are DLC routes. Trainz 3, so that'd be the Iberia Interior. I believe Tidewater Point Rail is also DLC, and Winter in the Alps. I know that's definitely DLC. So there you go. So this released in about 2015, and yeah. Yeah, this video has absolutely no structure to it, and I do apologize. But let's look at the route, I guess. Iberia, this actually route that I haven't really planned on all that much. Even back in the day, I only really drove this route occasionally, like went to use train. And funnily enough, what I like to go on the regular was actually using the I'm gonna keep saying Ave, the Ave Maria train, because it was like a cool high-speed train. Yeah, so look at that. And actually, I'm not sure if this is true or not. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a bit of a declaration. So I'm not sure how it was over on Android, but as far as iOS Trainz lore goes, the Iberia Interior route, as I'm breaking the speed limit, we're gonna be breaking the speed limit, the Iberia Interior route was the first ever electric route on the iOS mobile version, and we are not going to stop in time. This train has the worst brakes in the world. Stop! Ooh, the speed limit up to 320 for a second there, but it's gonna go right down, and we're going to completely overshoot the platform like it's not even going to be close. This train has the worst brakes in the world. Oh my god, and we completely missed. Okay, Top Gear top tip: the brakes of this thing are terrible. Brake as soon as you can. Thank goodness there's no red lights, by the way. Am I gonna get a penalty for that, by the way? Oh, the brakes on this thing are terrible. You missed a station. Try again. Oh. Okay, it just failed me. Well, you're the one who gave me a train with terrible brakes. Alright, fine, let's try that again. Okay, so that was basically introduction to Trainz Driver Journey 2. That was me saying blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I found an opportunity to blah, blah, blah about the game. So let's actually play the game. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna break a lot sooner next time. And yes, I think I may have to, put this thing on the... we'll see. Let's see. Oh, the cars drive on the road. Yes. I should have driven that train though, the high-speed train. But the thing is, we already did a high-speed train though this month. We did the wow, high-speed train. We did the PRRT1 speed test video. That was an interesting video, by the way. It didn't do quite as good as I thought it was going to, by the way. Let's see how this one does then. Come on, slow it down. Man, this is terrible race. Alright, just play the whole starting bit again. So I broke about half a kilometer away from the station, which was way too late. Next I'm going to break an entire kilometer away from the station. Actually, maybe a little bit more than that, just to give myself a bit of a buffer. And okay, well, I think there's like a really old train. I actually don't know what train this even is, by the way. Yeah, I don't even know what this train even is, like it's called. But by the looks of it, looks very old. Oh, the cab is even focus move. Hang on. Oh, cool. We are okay. Also, does it have a bell? Oh, you're cleared. Okay, can I? There we go. Oh, this thing has a bell. Yep. Alright, we'll have two high-speed trains here. Being the Ave Maria train. Yes. Like I said, we'll be grabbing that train in the future, but for today, we're just we're grabbing a slow train. Captain Slow. Also, on both the pantographs are up. Hang on, that looks stupid. There we go. Will they have both pantographs used in real life? Probably not. Alright, gotta wait for the all clear. There we go. Okay, at the rate that my battery's going down, I'm gonna have to put this thing on the charger. And, yeah. In a few minutes' time. I know, I should have charged my iPad beforehand, but typically I charge my iPad overnight. Except for some reason, it wasn't plugged in. And I only realized that just before I did this video. So, and by this point it was too late to go back and thing it. Oh, what? Oh, can't say no camera. Say no camera. Yeah, say no camera. But anyway, yeah, welcome to the. Well, yeah, welcome back to the interior. Also, we're speeding. Let's not do that. But the game did fail me for completely overshooting the platform. And man, this throttle is like so finicky. It just doesn't spawn that well. This might be my hardest challenge. I'm grabbing a train that is trash. And I understand that this thing, you know, probably comes from like the 1950s, but come on. Alright, pretty soon get speed. Once I get the speed those 90 kilometers per hour, I doubt that we're gonna have a chance to reach that speed. Because his thing is slow to accelerate and it's slow to brake. So we're gonna get on the brakes a lot sooner this time. Like, I think 1 kilometer away might be a pretty safe, like, distance to brake from. And I don't think this train would have had this bad of brakes in real life. By the way, I mean, I understand this train is from a really long time ago. But, come on. Surely the brakes on the older trains couldn't have been that bad. But yeah, I actually did buy this, by the way. I should mention, so Trainz Driver 1, or Trainz Driver 1, oh my goodness. Yeah, I know, I'm going to get those confused. Trainz Driver Journeys 1 is free. However, all of the other ones, Trainz Driver Journey 2 through 8, those you have to pay for. Yeah, those you have to buy. And the main reason why I decided to buy this was, back in the day, was mainly because, well, because it didn't really exist. Yeah, it didn't really exist. Like, so, what I find to be a bit weird is that they put it up for download. They put the Trainz Driver Journey up for download. In like 2015. And then not even that long after that, they then just made these DLCs for Train Simulator 2. So, there is literally no reason to buy any of the Trainz Driver Journeys, because you can just buy these as add-ons in Train Simulator 2. And funnily enough, the base game, Train Simulator 2, is free, by the way. So, funny enough, there's the Waterbuilder Caribbean route, and the Highland Valley Industries, and I think the Road to the Vale is also a thing. You can just play those routes for free in Trains 2 now, because those are default routes, and you get those with the default download, which is now free. And after that, you only have to pay 99 cents to play on the on each of the other routes. So that'd be Winter in the Alps, the Blue Comet, this route, and the other route. So there's basically no reason to get Trainz Driver Journey at all. Only reason why I got it was because this was actually way back in 2015. By the way, I actually was able to re-download this app on my iPad Air thanks to the family sharing thing. Also, I'm about to nail this stop. Okay, it turns out braking from a kilometer away is actually a pretty safe distance. In fact, I may even undershoot this platform a little bit. Hang on, I'm gonna wait to... I'm gonna pull just a little bit. Just a teeny bit. And... stop. Okay, he wants to stop right where the marker is. Okay. I know I'm being very finicky with this, and it's just kind of a product of what I'm playing with. Like, this train has just terrible brakes. Like, it's almost amazing just how bad the brakes are on this thing. There. All right, so next one is okay, I do think that's gonna be the entire route, but this road isn't really that long, so I don't think. So we're basically gonna drive the entire route today. And yeah, while we're here, I might as well use the opportunity to change to the Chargers. So I'll be back in just a second. And we're now on the Charger. Okay, so now if you can hear the game through, I don't think it's that loud. I mean, yeah. Okay, it's okay, it's a bit bang, but it's bang. Also, the score is there. Yes. Also, we are now ready to pull away. Checking thingies. Alright. So yes, you will now hear the iPad through my microphone. Not much I can do about that. I mean, well, I was doing things about it. That's why I always like record like this. That's why I have the game through my headphones, so it doesn't come across on the microphone. And typically this would be the case if I had remembered to. Well, no, I did remember to charge my iPad. It's just that I didn't realize that the charging cable was unplugged until a few minutes ago, until some time ago when I just started recording this video, and that is a speedy freight train. Oh, holy moly! Look at the speed on that thing. Yes. Although I don't think you'll be able to notice it too much. I think I've got the audio from the game recording through the footage recording, and that should be perfectly in sync with the audio that's coming through with the microphone. So actually, you guys may be able to notice. Obviously, I still like to record with my headphones plugged in anyway, because I feel like that creates an even better experience. Now there's basically the commentary and the audio track from the game are separated, so this way it's more professional. But of course, I do like to do things professionally, or as professional as I can, but sometimes I do mess up, because at the end of the day, I am still an idiot. Alright, let's see how fast we can go then to the next stop. Speed limit actually raised up to 120. By the way, I like how the game earlier on told me to look out for red signals of the Iberia train. Yeah, as if we're ever even gonna be able to keep up with it with how slow our train is. And this is actually the kind of dispatching that should happen on railways. You should always put the faster train before the slower train. Now, of course, we were behind the Ave Maria train. I'm never gonna get that correct. We were right behind the Ave Maria train, but then, that train then took off and was far ahead of us. Because that train, well, it's a high-speed train. And there's actually a world's difference between these two trains. I mean, one is a high-speed train that is recent. Well, I say recent. It's not too recent anymore, but, it's still a lot more recent compared to this thing, which is from, like, the 1950s, which is slow, and the brakes are terrible. So, you know what? Even if the Ave Maria train were to stop at all the stations, I still wouldn't even be able to keep up, because it takes forever to get on the brakes, and it takes forever to accelerate. What is that noise? I don't know. But that's the express train anyway, so that shouldn't even be stopping at any of the stations. It should just be stopping at each end of the route. So, yeah. Alright, well, just for the heck of it, let's see how fast things can go before we have to get on the brakes. I think this time I'm going to brake about 1.3 kilometers away from the station. because the funny thing is the first time I braked half a kilometer away because I thought, man, the brakes and thing are bad, but maybe they're not that bad, and then I found out, oh, they are that bad. Okay. So this time I'm gonna be utterly I'm gonna be absolutely cautious, because another thing that I also learned is that if you do overshoot the platform by a humongous margin, then the game will fail you, it will kick you out of the game, and they have to start all over again. So do not overshoot the platform, just brake as early as possible and be safe about it. Because the brakes on this thing are terrible. Oh hey, it's another train like mine. Hello, other train. How are you today? We got an all blue coach consist. My cons, we have a few blue coaches, but we also have a red coach up in front. Okay, 1.3 and brakes. On the brakes. On the brakes. On the brakes. Okay. Alright, see how well I timed this. Anyways, I am driving in kilometers, because alright, we're stopping at, a station. An station. Also, you know something else I just realized. So this locomotive actually probably would have been, like, new when Steam Mags were still a thing, right? Is that... Am I right in saying that, or no? I mean, well, by how bad the brakes are, you would actually... No. I don't even think this thing is from the 1950s. I think it might be from an even earlier time than that, like maybe the 1930s or something. When is this... Okay, I don't actually know anything about this locomotive. I don't even know this locomotive's name. But for those who do out there, what is the story behind this thing? Actually, hold on. This game has a rail yard, right? We might be able to check the rail yard, maybe. I'm not sure. Is there a rail yard in this game? I'm not sure. I'm going to check that once this is over, if I can remember to do it. This station, I don't even think the station has a name. Or maybe it does and I just can't find it. On the brakes. Okay, that looks a little bit more. And stop. There we go. Alrighty. But yeah, I don't even... The wheel's still spinning. Are you serious? Wait, what? The wheels are still spinning, even though we're stopped. Oh my goodness. Also, I'm also gonna say the modeling and texturing this thing is kind of bad. So not only is this an old locomotive, as in it's the real life counterpart of this thing is old, this model, this Trainz model is also really old. Like this probably comes from, actually, I think this route was actually in Trainz 2009. So this thing must have come sometime during that or before that. Like this, it's so, everything is so old. Why? Also, Speedy Pan, why are we driving that? Also, something else I just realized is that I should have done a freight service instead. You know, well, actually, no, I've done so much freight stuff as of recent, though, on the channel. I mean, We did that shunting scenario on Trainz 2 in Australia. Oh wait, no, that was, yeah, we did that, and then we did the shunting, the shunting thingamajiggy in Trainz 3, and then only then we got to drive past Trainz. Yeah, I've done, yeah, sausages. All right, you know what? Actually, to be honest, I'm really more of a passenger guy, so I mean, yes. Although, if you guys really want me to, I might return to this game and play a freight service. Alright, so we have a bit more of a distance this time to the next station, so let's see how fast we can get this thing up to. And I guess we're going to see the entirety of this route today. We're already, yeah, we're halfway through, and I guess we're going to drive the whole thing. Okay. So yeah, so you guys also get to see the entirety of the of this route today. And dang, this video's gonna be a long one. And also a bit of a messy one. I do apologize for not charging my iPad before the video. My hands were tied. Actually, what I could have just done is just let my iPad charge up and then record the video, but honestly, I just like to get these things, you know. I don't like to waste time. And you know what? If you guys really want me to, I might do a second video on this route at some point in the future. Maybe. But I want to do something a little bit different this time. You know, first of all, driving this route is first time we've looked at a Spanish route in these series of Trainz videos I've done. You know, me playing Trainz 3. Actually, I don't think there's a single Spanish route in Trainz 3, and also, actually, I think the Iberia Interior route is actually the only Spanish route in all of Trainz 2, and actually in all of Trainz in general. Okay, there might be some other obscure Spanish route I don't know of for the Trainz PC games, but as far as Trainz mobile game, I think that's the only one. Speedy train. And yes, don't worry, we will be driving that train in the future. Actually, if you guys really want to see me drive the Iberia train right now, I did do videos of me driving on other routes way back in the day, and by the way, those videos are old and bad, so do not expect anything of quality. But if you really want me to see drive the Iberia train, go into the you can go to the Trainz 2 playlist. Trainz 2 iOS playlist. Oh, so we're really moving. Yes, look at that. Yes. I think we're gonna break 1.6 kilometers away from the station. I know that sounds like a bit. That's like a long way before, but you know about the brakes on this thing. Oh, we just reached almost reached 100 though. But we'll see if we can reach 100 again though in the last stretch. But yeah, you know what's funny? The brakes of this thing are just so bad that even the AI train can barely even drive this thing. So when I had this thing as a programmed as an AI train, you can actually see this in the videos I made way back then. The brakes in this thing are so terrible that it actually missed the stopping marker and then just continued driving on. Like, I'm just staggered by just how bad the brakes are. Alright, well, come on. Just don't go this slow. And yeah, I did brake a little bit better than I should have back there, but, you know, I don't want to overrun the platform again. I actually want to stop at the station and complete the objective for the day. Okay, here we go. But yeah, so what do you think about Spain in general? I can't really say much about Spain itself, to be honest. Like as a country, I can only really talk about its railways, and even that I'm not really that knowledgeable about Spanish railways. The only bit of Spanish railways I actually really know about is the Ave high speed train, because that was actually my introduction to like Spain as a country. Um, Also, yeah, Small Sub is at the top of the map. Okay, so Spanish railways didn't really know that much about. The only real, yeah, like I said, really my big introduction was to Spanish railways, which was the Ave high speed train. Um, and yes, don't worry, that was before the big accident happened. In 2013. I was aware of the Ave before that, so I didn't learn about the Ave through that. Sausages. Um, but that's about it, really. I can't really say much, you know, about it because I don't really know that much, and I don't even know that much about Spain in general. Um, but I just realized though something else that is a big irony though. My friend Andre, who I've given a shout out multiple times in my training BTS videos, he actually went on a class trip to Spain recently in Barcelona. I guess it smells weird there, but it's fun nonetheless. Yeah. So fun enough, I only really know Spain through Ave, and I do, and Spain. So as a motorsports fan as well, yeah. Did you guys know that I'm also a racing fan? Yeah, Spain has also had a bit of influence in Formula One. Racing driver Fernando Alonso is from Spain, and he's a two-time champion. And also for driver Carlos Sainz, also from Spain. Um, Carlos only won one race for Ferrari, but I'm sure that he'll win more if Ferrari can stop botching up the strategy and stuff. But if Ferrari can just stop being stupid, I'm sure Carlos Sainz could, win more races and maybe even be world champion. Yeah. And ironically, Andre, having gone to Barcelona, there's also a racetrack there, the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, which I've raced numerous times in racing games, particularly Real Racing 3. And I like it. And the funny thing is, right, there's a lot of like hate from like the Formula One community. They there's a lot of hate towards the Catalunya track. And the thing is, right, is that I don't really understand it, because here's the thing, right? Sure, the track itself struggles to produce good racing. Every time F1 goes to Circuit de Catalunya, is always a boring race. But I think that has more to do with the cars and the way that the cars are, rather than the track. And plus, we do, of course, F1 also does the preseason testing at Catalunya, which is another reason why Catalunya, is also, produces boring races, which I'll admit that's a problem, and I think that F1 should do their preseason testing at. Actually, they should do the testing at a track that isn't on the schedule. Like, just go to some random track somewhere in Europe and have all the team test there, do their preseason testing there. They can figure out their cars and then they'll have that ready for the season. And then there's the Valencia Street Circuit, which now that is a genuinely horrible track. It was determined by the greatest track designer in the world, everyone's favorite Herman Tilke. Now, all of you non-racing fans will probably have no idea what I'm talking about, and if you do, I actually encourage you to get into racing, like auto racing, because, yeah, just because, you should get to do auto racing because an idiot on the internet said so, who now only does train videos these days, yeah. I used to do a lot of racing stuff on this channel, but nobody ever watches, so now I just do train stuff. Actually, I do have some plans for my racing stuff, though, for the future. And that will be announced in due time. Also, things glitching. Come on. But overall, Spain seems like a nice country. I would travel here on like a vacation or whatever. Actually, going back to talking about railways, you know, the thing that's actually relevant on this channel now and relevant in this video. Apparently now there's some competition on the high-speed rail because, I guess some time ago they did a thing where basically now other railways from different places can run their trains because for many years it's just been Renfe. They've been the sole, or the, I'm not sure the sole or the main, I'm not sure how that works, but basically Renfe is basically the main operator of the railways of Spain. But it seems that in more recent, just recently, there was a something was passed that basically means that now other railways can now run their trains, and in response to that, the SNCF have started running their Wigo trains in Spain. And I guess if you're not really aware, so the SNCF back in 2013 started this thing called Wigo, which is basically a low-cost high-speed train. Like, you know how like the low-cost airlines work? It's basically that, except now it's a high-speed train. And now it's been a big success over in France, so the NCF decided to bring this concept to Spain. And the funny thing is, NCF and Renfe are in competition with each other, so Renfe actually started their own competitor to the Wigo called the Avlo train. So the railways of Spain are about to get interesting, I think. And then there's the trains themselves. I'm not really that fascinated by most of the trains in Spain. It's mainly the high-speed stuff that you know is basically the main appeal to me. And I actually wish we had more of that in train simulators. I mean, as far as trains, I think the only Ave train in all the whole of trains is actually the Maria that we have in this game. There might be another one somewhere, but I'm not sure. And then over in Railworks Train Simulator, it does exist. In Railworks Train Simulator, there are freeware Ave trains, which I may show off in a live stream if you guys really want to see that. Now, as far as official content, there is none. There is no official Ave content, you know, done by like the Giants, you know, done by Dovetail or Dust Trains or whatever. No, it's actually smaller, lesser-known guys who have done that. And then as far as Train Sim World, there's basically no Ave stuff at all, which I think is stupid. I said it in my Train Sim World 3 rant video. Well, I say rant, but okay, rant is actually a strong word. I'm not just gonna rant. But okay, let's call it the Train Sim World 3 opinion video that I uploaded a couple months back about Dovetail always just do the base 3 countries. Honestly, Spain is another good country for, you know, going to make routes to. Plus, it's European, so Dovetail wouldn't even have to travel that far. Also, hey, we have something with the name. This one is called Sahagun, and that's probably not how you pronounce that, but that's how I would pronounce it as a simpleton American. But that's basically it for this scenario, though. I pretty much just spent this scenario just blabbering about stuff. Some of the stuff isn't even relevant to what the video is about, and I don't know why the screen's going darker. I'm just cruising into the station. But yeah, it's fairly video, 50 minutes. Wow, okay, yeah, so this video is a long one. Actually, longest video I've made in a while. Well, I think that was because of just how long the intro was. If I didn't spend so much time blabbering and stuff like that, this video probably would have been shorter than that. But actually, 35 minutes. Yeah, so that's basically 35 minutes of actually driving the train, and then another 50 minutes of me being stupid. That's it, though. That's the end of the scenario. Yes, well done me. Alrighty then. So that's basically going to do it for today. I guess wait for the closing message though, saying, well done, you have completed the scenario. Then we'll go back to my menu, and then that will be the end of the video. Yes. And apologies, this video was a little bit off the rails. Off the rails. Funny. And a little bit not destructured, but hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. But I'll try to do the more such videos in the future. And there you have it, 5 stars, a perfect score in this scenario. Oh yes, I think that's the first time. Is that the first time I've scored 5 stars, by the way? Also, I have this. Yeah, that was like just 1 star, but I got 5 for the past service. Oh yes. But that's gonna do it for this video. If there's anything that I missed or whatever, anything else you want me to talk about or whatever that you may have missed out on, let me know in the comments section down below. And I also don't think, I'm not sure there's a way to get. Yeah, I don't think there's a rail yard in this game. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and stuff. And yeah, video next week. Yeah, next week we're back on Trainz Driver 3, by the way, in case you're wondering. And also, Bill and Ted Short 39 will also be premiering next week if I can get it ready in time. Yes. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. Yeah, leave a comment if you have any other thoughts. Just otherwise, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a like as well, because that will boost me in the algorithm and stuff. And this is a very derailed video, and this derailed video is coming to an end, and I will see you in whatever I make next.